Hello, I'm Bookface. So, therianthropes are probably the favorite kind of monster in any kind of fiction involving monsters. I mean, they're certainly my favorite. It combines the overt fear of a dangerous predator with the more psychological fear of a person being a monster in their own right. Ooh, metaphorical. And while the fully terrestrial therianthropes are pretty intimidating already, adding the element of the ocean where most people are more vulnerable adds another layer of fear. I certainly don't like the ocean, so yeah, that add a whole lot of extra fear for me. And here we find the Wereshark, a concept coming from Polynesian myth, but also very common in pop culture, even without the historical basis. The myth largely comes from Hawaii, but there are other cultures that also have it. I mean, they're not in this video, but they do exist in other mythologies. I'm pretty sure, at least. Interestingly, due to the nature of Polynesia being a lot of islands, being culturally connected, while also having specific individual cultures between the islands, the Wereshark myth often shares many similarities with their own unique twists from place to place. And oh boy, are there some twists. With that out of the way, let's dive... You see what I did there? Right in. Woo! First up we have Kawelo, who lived in Kauai, near the Wailua River. There's a rock on the land near this river called the Shark Stone, and I have a feeling this stone is aptly named. Kawelo was a man who lived on the left fork of this river. He would listen for people on canoes that were heading to the ocean to go fishing, and then he'd greet them as they approached, wishing them luck. Don't worry, he's a professional encourager. He does this all the time. Also, it kind of makes me think of the horror movies where there's the crazy old guy like, "Don't go in there, only death and torment awaits you." And then nobody listens, and the horror movie actually starts. The fishing, however, would not go good luck. They would catch nothing and be attacked by a shark. I mean, that's a fish. Good eating, so long as, you're not the good eating. One day, some other guys went down the river to fish, but they told Kawelo they were just going to visit some people downriver. Trust no one! I'd like to think they didn't actually know anything was going on with Kawelo. They just felt like lying to people for the heck of it, and it turned out very good. They went fishing and did great. In fact, they did great even by normal, not monster-affected, fishing standards. Not a shark in sight. The original guys, likely feeling a little bitter, asked about what happened and then came up with a plan. Ah, the perfect crime, I see. I literally don't know why I started saying that, but now I just can't stop. Anyways, so the plan was they would go fishing and have someone watch Kawelo and warn them if something happened. So they passed by Kawelo again as they went fishing, all according to plan. And everything went the same as last time. As soon as the canoe left, Kawelo looked around and rushed to the riverbank. He jumped in the water, and then in the blink of an eye, Kawelo was gone. Instead, there was a really big shark. And I can only imagine the lookout was just, surprise Pikachu. He tried to warn his friends, but the wind kept them from hearing him, and they both died. Whoops. Sorry, guys. It's real windy today. Choppy waters and all. So the lookout went and told the chief after completely failing his job, and the chief decided that if you're going fishing, nobody needs to know about that. That's between you and the fish. And even now, it's considered bad luck to tell someone if you're going fishing. Trust no one! So, circling back to Shark Rock for a sec, the thing that started this, there are actually 3 rocks related to this story. The rock on land, Shark Rock, that one, is his home on land. There's a rock in the river, which was his river home. And there was a rock at the mouth of the river where it met the ocean, which was his ocean home. Wow, Mr. Moneybags with his 3 houses. Eat the rich before they eat you. I love how whenever I say those dramatic things, I'm just like, okay. And scrolling through my script. Next we have Kamaikaahui. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I'm trying my best. He was born in Maui as a rat. And then he eventually became several bananas. And then eventually he was a man with a shark mouth on his back. This is the type of evolution you see in Digimon. Rat to bananas to shark to rat again, but with gun. That's Digimon. To hide the shark mouth on his back, he always wore a cloth covering for it, which, not suspicious at all. He would keep the form of a man on land, but would take the form of a shark whenever he was in the ocean. And I feel like that could be a very difficult thing to hide in a very ocean-dependent civilization. He lived and farmed by the main road. Oh, he farms now. That's interesting. Is that in case, the hunting doesn't work out and he's just like, well, guess I'm vegan now. Dang people not telling me if they're going fishing. These Gravity Falls fans trusting no one. one. He would warn people of sharks as they would walk by going to the ocean, and he would then take a shortcut to get to the ocean and then eat them in the form of shark. Once again, he foretells doom. I mean, fair warning, I guess? People eventually start to suspect him, and when he sees a large, angry mob formed at the shore ready to kill him, he just kind of swims off to another island, just nopes out of there real quick. On this island, he ruled as a chief for years and terrorized people in the form of a shark until he was killed by Palila, a folklore hero and a kupua, which is kind of like a nature spirit, or maybe a demigod, or just a dude who could turn into animals for unknown reasons. The term is kind of a catch-all in Hawaiian myth. Lastly, we have Pau-Walu, who lived by the Wailua River in Maui. Wonder if he was friends with Kawelo. His name translates to 8 dead, a name that would also be equally fitting to a were-octopus, which is also a thing, but that's content for another video. Like, comment, subscribe. He warned people that were going fishing that a shark would kill 8 of them, and then he'd turn into a shark and kill 8 of them. Again, fair warning, though it might be a little specific. So people quickly figure out what's going on because, yeah, saying there's a shark that might hurt somebody is one thing. Saying the exact number of people this hypothetical shark will kill is a little too specific. He was then confronted, captured, and bound by a hero known as Hau-ola the Strong. And then he was thrown into a fire. I mean, at least you were honest, so you got the moral victory? And there we have 3 examples of weresharks in Hawaiian myth. Once again, this video doesn't really line up with therianthrope by the terms of werewolf as we know it. Instead of being a species of human-shark hybrid things, these are specific people who could turn into sharks for specific reasons, either because they're just originally supernatural creatures, or their origins are just unknown, or they're sort of demigod, nature spirit, somethings. Still, it's interesting to know there actually is an origin to the whole wereshark thing, and I actually have enough to do another video of this, shockingly enough. If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!